So I noticed I'm using my straps to do a lot of pull down. I use them on a lot of pulling motions now. I've got a world class grip. I won a world championship in grip in the under 90 kilo class, and I come second at the Arnold, a bunch of stuff like that. So yes, not using the straps is going to build a better grip, but if it's going to restrict how much I can load my lats. So no matter how strong my grip is, my lats are bigger, stronger muscles. So if I want to work those muscles more, using some straps is definitely going to be a huge help there. Going for sets of 15, trying to control the up, explosive on the down. Always try and move fast on the down to the concentric when the muscle is shortening. It's going to keep you athletic, keep those muscles moving fast, and you get way more of the eccentric anyways. So taking a longer time on that eccentric is where you're going to get most of the gains, especially that stretch. You see me at the end, I'm getting a big stretch, and at the very end, you notice me. I might not be able to all the way down, but those like partial reps in that stretch position is going to give me way more growth than just stopping when I stop missing that. Now, if I'm having to heave and do a bunch of bullshit to get it down, you want to avoid that shit, because then you're just fucking flipping around like a fucking CrossFit and dolphin. It doesn't look good. The real MVP today is fanning. In my gym, they have AC, they just choose not to really use it. So buying this fan has been a fucking game changer. It's got a nice battery in it, but it's cool because it can also plug it into an extension cord, so I don't actually need the battery if I don't want to use it. So this guy, my clients fucking love it this summer. It honestly makes a big difference. You can suffer, you can, it can be shitty, but sometimes you're a little more comfortable. You can push it harder, right? So it's fucking hot. It's like 30 degrees out every day this week, so the fan definitely comes in handy. Oh, that fucking sucks. Now we're doing straight arm lat pull downs. Big stretch is the goal. I try and drive my chest to the floor, try and get that big stretch, and then I'll come up a bit just so I can make it to my hips and get a nice little pump. We're gonna do chest support rows after this, so we're gonna get a thick ass pump after those close grip pull downs. So then everything we do on the chest support rows is gonna be like X amount more stimulating, just because I got a lot of blood flow, a lot of like a nice pump. They're kind of I don't say pre-fatigued, but they're just gonna be in a position where every rep I do on that is gonna be more stimulating for hypertrophy in my lats and other back muscles compared to if I was to do the chest support row first and then something like this. So we're gonna bang out one more set, get a thick ass pump, now we're gonna move on to those chest support rows, baby. Oh, motherfucker. So a big focus for me on this exercise is going to be to get a big range of motion, like I'm trying to touch the ground, come up. I might lift my chest a little bit just to get more contraction in the upper back. But the goal is the stretch here. You'll find, let's say on that lat pull down I did before, the straight arm one, if you have shitty mobility, instead of statically stretching every single day, you should do more bodybuilding movements, because the static stretch one, to actually get a change in length, you have to stretch for so fucking long per muscle, and you're going to be super sore from it. So I find it's just, for most people, unless you're like a dancer or a gymnast or something like that, a lot of times just doing a straight arm lat pull down, let's say for lat flexibility, to get overhead, pause, and come down is going to be good for strengthening and good for lengthening the muscle, as opposed to just wasting your time just doing static stretching all fucking day. With this guy, the stretch is at the bottom, so you might notice at the end of it I might not be able to get all the way up, but I'm still going to commit to a few reps. The goal here is going to be like 4 sets of 15. Let's fucking take it for a ride. Fucking rough. So my feet are on the floor, they're not on the back thing. I find big thing for me is as I'm pulling, I just don't extend through my low back as much. So it's more upper back, my feet are further forward, so I'm more of a posterior pelvic tilt. So I don't extend through my low back as much as I pull. I find for people that are too short though, give yourself a little booster seat here. I don't need these things, but for my shorter clients, I'll stack them up a little higher. And the idea is you want to be high enough up that you can get like a nice good rounding with the shoulders, right? If you're too low down, you're gonna be kind of stuck there. Get that actual like kyphotic upper back rounding and then extension, because that's just gonna get a big full stretch in the traps, posterior delts, lats, and the erectors itself in the upper back. Oh, fuck. Come on. Oh, fuck. Last exercise of the day is going to be this laying down front raise on the cable. My right shoulder, I've injured it from 14 to 34. So for like 20 years, I've had a fucked up shoulder. I've gone to different people. They give me some like stuff to kind of work on. But basically, I separated when I was 14. Didn't know I separated. I just knew I hurt my shoulder. I was actually in like a Taekwondo seminar. I had fallen and I heard like a little crunch, crunch. I stood up and crunch, crunch. And then I tried to punch for like 2 hours after. No fucking strength in the arm. So that probably didn't help it. And then after that, because I didn't know what the fuck it was, I was just one of those leave it until it feels better and then start doing stuff again. So like over the years, I played volleyball, overhead sports. So there'd be like 2 weeks where I couldn't move my fucking shoulder from like repetitive injuries and just hurting it. And then when it didn't hurt again, I'd start doing it again. Physio clinics didn't really start being a thing in my hometown, at least that I knew of, until I was at least in high school. And I didn't have a prescription or anything to go to it, right? So basically, I've had to modify stuff or kind of watch this shoulder throughout my whole training. So my overhead sucks so much just because I try and push my overhead and then my shoulder just gets all fucked up. I've gone to physios and I've gone to chiros. I've had shots in the shoulder to try and fix that too. But basically, I just have to be really careful about doing physio exercises and stuff to make sure it goes. So if this guy, if you see me come up, kind of come back down because my shoulder's not in a good position for me to come up pain-free. That being said, by the end of it, feels like the motion's warmed up, so that definitely does make a big difference. Woo! All right, guys, workout is done. That was a good one. Nice big pump. Just set to 50 on everything today, nothing crazy. Big points to remember is that the straps, they help, right? If you want to work on grip, do grip specific stuff. I have a bunch of grip implements here, do dead hangs, whatever you really want. But if your goal is to get back training in, use straps so you get more reps in, you get more volume in, because at the end of the day, volume is king. The more you do, the more you're going to stimulate it. You notice me do that straight arm lat pull down before I did the chest supported row. I could do that at the very beginning if I really wanted to, if I wanted to work on my overhead mobility like I mentioned, or just get a pump, so that way everything I do after that is more stimulating, right? It's like if you do leg extensions before you go do a squat. Yeah, it's gonna suck for the squat, but then all of a sudden your quad's the limiting factor and not your back, right? So there is definitely a benefit. You could call it pre-exhaustion. I prefer to look at it as you're getting the muscle into a state where everything you do after that is just more stimulating for it. So it's actually just gonna get muscle growth without as much nervous system, or like say you're not gonna have to load up the weight as much to get that much more stimulus. So it's a great back day. Got a little bit of a delt pump too. Tomorrow it's gonna be chest, triceps, biceps, and probably more delts. All right, guys, have a good fucking day.